Hello, everybody. It is us in the flesh, both of us this time. As always, I am Emmerron.
I'm Diamond Dust, and yes, hi, it's me. It's me in Meat Space.
Yes.
Yep.
We have a guest here. Oh, what the? Yeah. Oh, okay. I was like, where's that hand coming from? Oh, no. So behind me we have Robert here. Also, what do you go by on Instagram, Robert? The orc janitor, something like that.
Zuggog the janitor.
Zuggog the janitor. Yeah. Thank you. He is a very Warhammer pilled kind of guy who also plays Cyberpunk Red. He's been at my table for fucking ever. Usually on the nights where we typically stream, he is working because he works the graveyard shift, unfortunately. Big depresso. But he's here with us at GenCon. And yeah, I think that's everyone. I'm pretty sure that's our introduction.
Whoa, the white guy.
Oh my god!
It is him,
Shock! Awe! Surprise! By the way, yeah, we have LCC here as well.
Lord
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Lord Jesus Christ also in the flesh. Normally he is a floating, flashing PNG in the corner. So, hello everybody. I'm so glad you could join us. So, we are going to be talking, so we don't have a soundtrack. Our lighting is a little scuffed. Our audio may be just a tad scuffed. If it is, my apologies. This is our on-the-road setup. The fact that this is even working already is amazing. I'm not going to jinx it by trying anything fancy, at least not this year. By next year, maybe we'll have a more professional-looking setup, but I've got a $300 laptop in a dream. So...
And lots of caffeine.
And I just hopped myself up on, what was it, like 3-4 refills of Dr. Pepper at B-Dubs. So...
Apparently.
It was what?
It was clipping a bit, but it's totally fine.
Yeah. If it's clipping a little bit, we are dealing with a 9 meg down and 4 meg up. That's what we got as a connection. We're on hotel Wi-Fi. I promise nothing good, particularly here. So we're gonna try and make it work. This VOD obviously will be recorded locally. So this will come through a lot clearer when I get home. I'll try to bed some music under it in post to make this work a little better for us. But let's, I guess, start. Let's start with loot, I guess, in terms of like what we got.
So, you want to kick us off here?
Yes. So for those of you who have not been paying attention to the social media channels of Artel Saurian Games, the first thing. Shadow Scar Easy Mode.
Shadow Scar Sweep.
Or not Easy Mode, the starter kit rather, has arrived. And the mic is kind of in the way of me displaying this properly. So, here, I can move it around.
Indeed.
So we
live in three-dimensional space.
Yeah, I think, all of us, have a copy of this now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think unless Diamond here had it.
I don't have a signature on there, but I do have it in my book.
I got Cody's signature. So that's very exciting. So if you end up watching this, thank you so much for signing my copy. I greatly appreciate you. I also finally got my hands on my own Cyberpunk Edgerunners mission kit in the physical. So did Diamond. Finally, we have the physical boxes.
And I will finally do a review on everything now that I have.
Now that we finally
the physical box.
fucking have it. All right. So that is the fun. Oh no! There's one other thing here that I believe I have in my backpack.
Yeah, we found the city of Atlantis.
Oh no! Not this. No! We don't talk about that.
Come on.
So this might, to some of you, look like a regular GM screen. This is the contents are going to look the same. The quality might not come through properly on the camera. However, this is the brand new, after a year and a half of not being printed, we have GM screens again, which is hella fucking cool.
And
very fucking cool indeed.
I gotta say, I used my GM screen this weekend. So you always have your book with you, but this reduces the amount of times you have to go digging through the book to figure out what your call is going to be.
Yeah, crit injury tables and the like cover HP and
Distances.
yeah, distance chart, like all of that is part of that, and it's all that is incredibly useful.
Also, a little something. I finally got my grubby mitts on.
Yeah, it's kind of
One of
glaring
the
like
last
crazy.
few
Oh, there it
that
is.
are in this wave of production right now. Actually, I don't know how many more they're going to be making.
Well, I imagine they'll probably keep making them to a certain extent, because like that one was because I bought mine online like maybe a month and a half ago, something like that. So I think we'll still have these
Yeah.
for a second.
This
Yeah.
is and you know, for those of you guys who had seen me over on CNU, Loki battle mats, and for those of you guys who watched my stream, a lot of the maps that you've seen on my stream are now in here in this giant book of maps. It's gorgeous and it's dry erase.
Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Loki battle mats.
Oh yeah. Hold up, I think I've got the form. This is gonna be scuffed as fuck, but it's in my pocket back here. So Loki battle mats. Holding this up for the camera. Hopefully you guys can see it. They are releasing a new set of Cyberpunk battle maps. We also, on the other side here, we are getting a giant book of Shadowscar battle maps.
Oh yeah.
Which is hella fucking cool. We actually, in the game room this weekend, had a chance to play with a demo version of the book that it looks like they got in, and that was hella neat. We got to run all of, so if you played a Shadowscar demo with our good friend Nyla, friend of the channel and regular chatter here, he was running Shadowscar demos in the morning all weekend long. Big props to him. And he had that at the table. So if you played a Shadowscar demo with us this weekend in the RTG game room, you will have played on the first copy, as far as we are aware, of the Shadowscar map book.
Only one in existence.
So far. Yeah, that is, we believe, a proof copy that is the only one that we think exists. So, moving away from Artal, we got a couple things. So I'm moving stuff around on the side here. So first and foremost, this is a little brag for me. I finally did it, chat. I made pay to win. It's real. It's fucking real.
We don't even have to ask.
Mine's
Chad,
even
this is
signed.
Yeah, she got a signed copy. So these are not gonna be produced in any form, at least currently. I cannot sell these. And printing these costs a fuckload of money, as I really discovered. I ordered 10, I got 14, and it cost me I think it was like $260. It was a lot of money. Self-publishing is very expensive. Especially in small batches. So, I will probably in no way be able to produce those to order or anything anytime soon. The homebrew policy forbids me selling them. However, that does not mean you can't get your hands on the gig. It will probably be tomorrow when I have the time to work on it, maybe at the airport. But I will be getting the PDF uploaded to Google, and I will get it up on the Patreon, and you all will be able to run it at your tables. It is fully laid out. I can even show you guys a little bit. As you can see on the back, we have a whole B chart for the...
Show them yes, chef.
Yeah. Well, I don't have Yes Chef in here because it was printed before the elves had names. But you do have elf character sheets back here that you can use with your table that I have painstakingly over the course of 4 or 5 hours designed. In addition to all the work I did ahead of time, this is laid out like an Artal gig. It has devs, it has cliffs, it has things telling you where to go in the book. It is roughly 20 pages for the gig itself, and another 30 pages of stat blocks, net architectures, items, advice if you are running with a crew that does not use pre-mades, because this was originally balanced around the single shot pack characters. So it is going to be out on my Patreon this week, and I'm so excited to finally be able to share that with everybody.
Also, a
yes.
little Easter egg in Pay to Win. You're gonna find a location that came from my setting that's now being introduced over.
Yes.
So keep your eyes peeled.
The beats you're going to be concerned with for that are Well, there's one of the later PvP IRL beats, because there are two of those, and then there is the final boss. So if you're running those gigs, the location for those beats, location for those are Diamond's creation. So I thank her very much for doing
Also,
that.
one last thing, y'all should you also check out what the binary on the front.
Oh, yeah. By the way, yeah, the binary on the front of this is not nonsense. It like legit is something, and it's trolly as fuck. And I have LCC to thank for it.
It's very good.
It's very good. So I highly recommend if you can decode binary. It's a lot to copy off of an image, I know, but that is there. So yeah, Diamond.
Might be able to pay to win.
Oh yeah, you two might be able to pay to win. So Diamond, what's your next bit of loot here?
All right. Well, my next bit of loot. First things first. I do want to make a big. I do want to do a highlight on something that Robert came across that I didn't even
Which
know
one?
existed. The dice.
Okay.
Yes, the better Rob.
Damn, what the fuck, bro?
The better Rob.
Oh yes, that's right. There is now a picture of Emmerron, Dice TTRPG, and I all in the same area. We're all three different people.
Yeah.
To the one person who suspected all three of us were the same person, you are wrong.
Literally, how would you even do that? You sound all completely different. Is it just
Voice modulators, I guess.
yes, or just fucking okay.
But
Yeah, you.
I'm talking about your fancy sets of dice that you came across.
Yeah.
That little gem.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a dice goblin. This is a problem.
Well,
Please
what brand? What was the brand?
Well, they're a brand called Dispel Dice. They are known for acrylic pours, sharp edge dice, and liquid pours in their dice usually. I would recommend going easy on purchasing them because they are higher quality, which means they are actually more expensive.
The end number was
We're not telling them that.
That's understandable.
We're not telling them that. Really?
Basically, whereas some things are a standard set of dice, like standard quality. These are excellent quality dice. Now, one of my next things comes from our other favorite group that I like to work with. I hope to do a little bit more with them in the future. It's Freely Publishing. I got a few little goodies from over there that I have been looking and digging around for. And first things first, chat, we finally have it, and I will definitely get a chance to review it alongside its very violent dystopic brother. We have finally the holographic covered book Death in Space. So think very much for blue collared surviving the basically the apocalyptic horrors of space, whether it be eldritch space monsters, other crews out there, or your own damn ship falling apart.
AKA, don't poke a hole in your ship.
Yeah, don't do that.
Because one of the concepts in here that I like is nothing is new.
Yep.
Everything is coming off of something
Yeah.
else.
Nothing new. Everything is old.
Yeah.
Central authority is broken down.
Yep, everything is like seventh hand at this point.
Yep.
Also,
There
the
we
artwork in here, it's black and white, but it is spectacular.
Yeah. And Alex, I saw you earlier, and for some reason my Twitch.
Oh,
was
hi,
down.
Alex.
Yeah. The binary is much better than it's just nonsense. No. It is actually, you'll laugh if you decode it, and if you've been around the channel enough, you'll know what it is. I actually have something from Free League as well. I picked up the Dragonbane GM screen. I have a copy of Dragonbane here as well, although I already own this back at home. Those of you who watched my channel before will know that. But this is for my friend Connor, who is on Neon Inferno with us all the time, which that will be starting up again very soon as well. So yeah, there is that. Beyond that, oh yeah, this is a flyer, but
For the best game ever.
yeah,
We have a lot to talk about on that one.
I'm trying to avoid people's faces. This is Fossilized Violence. Fossilized Violence is a fucking awesome game. We were demoing that this weekend as well. If you played, that is the first time we've shown that in the public from RTG at all. So it is very good indeed. We also, and I know I already had a copy of this, but we have a physical of Eyes in the Darkness, which more Shadow Scar. If you weren't lucky enough to get one of those here at GenCon, or if you did not come to the convention, they also now have it up on Drive to RPG where you can order a print to mail copy. If you are a physical media nerd, otherwise you can just download the PDF for free like you can with every other easy mode that Arts How produces. And that one actually has a functional use with the starter kit by being kind of a prologue to that. And the prologue for that, when I say prologue, I mean it's an 8-hour adventure. We took 8 hours both when I run it here on the channel with Diamond, LCC, and several others. And it also was like 8 hours when I ran it for a real group on Free RPG Day. So,
Or a fake group, huh?
yeah, IRL. Let me be very clear. Jeez, this is why we don't stream with the Peanut Gallery, guys.
I don't know. I'm personally enjoying having the peanut gallery here.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so if you get that, it is a prologue, and then the box itself is like another 5 missions. So it's like a 6-mission total arc you kind of go through.
All for the whopping price of less than $100.
It's like $30. It's insane.
Yeah, it's less than
Cody
$100.
said that the starter set should take around 10 hours. So,
The starter set should take around 10 hours?
Jay asked Cody, how long do you think a starter kit, session or starter kit should take to get through?
Oh, no.
Like, if the players are like not necessarily rushing it, but also not fucking around, then maybe 10 hours. Maybe probably more. Maybe it was one of the 5 adventures.
I would say per adventure 10 hours is... Because we were able to... Because we play tested it, my real life group. And we were getting through like one adventure in a night. But that was like a 4-hour session. So my guess is actually much higher than that. It's probably double what they're estimating. But I haven't seen the other adventures other than the 2 that we play tested, which were from the very middle. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, 4 to 5 hours is per adventure is probably not an unreasonable expectation. Yeah.
All right. So next thing, also from Free League Publishing that I came across. Now, as some of you guys know, I'm personally just a fan of Dystopia. But, of course, what else besides Blade Runner? And I have come across a nice little haul here. So, I did have it as an online PDF, but I have finally gotten my hands on case number 2 of the Immortal game, Fiery Angels. I've read through Fiery Angels before, but also having the actual physical set with all the case pieces in it, this is going to be something I'm going to be looking into, and I'm probably going to be refreshing all my reviews on Blade Runner now that I have a much different perspective on the game. And on top of that, one of the little bit harder to get things that was here at Con, and they were coming down to their last stack, I got my hands on the Game Runner screen. Now, normally I don't run physical games, but I hope in the future to. So having this, of course, as a quick reference, would be handy. Very much follows to that of like the Game Master screen for Cyberpunk. And then finally, the official Blade Runner dice. It's D6, D8, D10, D12, all with the origami unicorn and a set of eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, and we also got some, speaking of dice,
Yeah.
free Shadow Scar dice.
These are, by the way, the same ones you'll get if you buy the starter box. You'll get this exact baggie with the exact same number of dice. They just doubled down on them for us because Con. We also got these really neat Shadow Scar pens that I can kind of hold up to the camera. It's pretty far back, so it can capture all of us. But yeah, this Shadow Scar pen. So we got one of those with purchase as well. Yeah.
And then, coming from Q Workshop, it's the standard dice array, not so much for Cyberpunk Red, but
Polyhedrals.
the polyhedrals themed to Cyberpunk Red itself. And I decided to go with red and black, of course.
Yep.
Um,
I'm pretty sure that's the actual original run of those. Then they remade them to be black and yellow, so they're easier to read.
Oh no, they've got 2 variants actually. They sell them in both colorways, which is really, really cool because I have those.
Because I have the yellow set.
Yeah, I have the black on yellow. But yeah, they sell them in both colorways, which is really, really cool.
Now, Mr. Alex, I had talked. One of the other things I did was take a visit over to Artal's friends over at Monster Fight Club. Now, for those of you guys who may not be aware, Monster Fight Club is a group that kind of helped Danger Gal Dossier be possible.
Yeah.
Because of all their awesome minis.
Paladin literally works there. Like,
Yes.
he's in the book and he works the company.
Most of Team Monster, to be fair, was like employees of Monster Fight Club with just a handful of like celebrity, like Matthew Lillard being one of those.
The man behind the slaughter.
Yeah.
One of the other nifty little things that I got my hands on, of course, for those of you guys who may have watched in the past, Danger Gal's one and only CEO, Mishiko Sanderson, which you can only get at convention.
Well,
Whether
I think
it's
I think it's this particular mold of her you could only get the convention. Because when we were talking with the Monster Fight Club guys, because Niall and I walked over there, and we had learned that basically like Michiko existed in one of the packs. I don't remember which one, and that she had stats already, but that this mold of her was new, and that was the exclusive one. So I think for you Fight Club guys, or your you Combat Zone guys out there who are playing that game, I do believe Michiko does exist in a form you can get her other than that, because that's the other reason why they said they didn't include like a little stat card. So they're like, oh
Okay.
yeah, her original form stats still apply. It's just that this one is like a recast of her. So yeah, that's kind of what.
Okay.
why
It's
they
just,
changed it.
it's just an alternate pose.
Yeah, which
But-
is cool. She looks like badass in that pose. Like I'm happy to
yeah,
own it.
especially with the Ultra Kate. And speaking of Monster Fight Club, it seems you got yourself
Oh, I did.
some nice little stuff from
I
over there
spent
as
some
well.
money, chat. I did. Any of you wants to support my financial decisions, of course, there are subs. You can donate to me. But here's the
So,
monster
like what I
scenery.
just did.
These are cargo containers. They have corporate logos on them. We have one for Zerafa, Zetatech, Continental Brands, Militech, and Arsaka. I am so excited to have these for my table games. These are very, very cool indeed.
That's where the characters can sleep in.
Yeah.
Diamond, thank you for subbing.
Yes, 13 months. Also,
Year plus
Monster
one.
Fight Club. I want to thank you guys, for chit-chatting with me. And I am looking forward to trying out your game and reviewing it. So I'll get in touch with you guys as soon as I can.
Yeah.
Once I'm home. Because I got 11 and a half hours.
Yeah, she's driving the whole way back from Indiana.
Go back to the convoy with
Yeah.
50 wild hogs.
Robert and I will be flying back to Arizona tomorrow. LCC, you'll be flying back to whence you came, tomorrow as well. So
Back to Florida.
back to the FL, yeah.
Yeah, we have
Emphasis
our own
on the
local
L.
Florida man.
True emphasis on the L. This place fucking- so that place fucking sucks. Don't ever go. Especially don't go there if you're trans.
Jesus.
That's not a
Anyway,
joke. That just sucks. The governor's a dickhead.
yeah.
This next book, there's officially like 3 copies of it in this room.
Oh, yeah. They all saw me pick up a copy of this shit, and like literally Robert and LCC both were like, I want to get me a Fabula Ultima copy after seeing yours. And oh my god, let me just tell you how excited I was that the guy who wrote it signed my copy. So I got Fabula Ultima. So this is the core rule book, and I'm trying not to crease everything here. So I'm gonna
Just do it, Charlie. Just do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
Yes,
I got a physical copy of the press start, which is their quick start for the game. I got the High Fantasy Atlas, which I've yet to open. I have their Game Master Toolkit, which includes a GM screen that's very, very pretty. And then last but certainly not least, I got their Techno Fantasy Atlas as well. This cost me $100. I regret nothing.
Yes, as someone who's been reading it for the last couple of hours before we went to dinner, it's a very fun little game in the fact that you get to effectively build a turn-by-turn RPG combat thing, just like all of your favorite Final Fantasy and or other RPG-like
Yeah,
games.
I think they have like an inspired works section.
Oh yeah, it's all in the back.
In the back, yeah, and it's like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy,
Bravely Default,
Arc Knights.
Probably a
Shimigami.
great story in there.
Yeah, like there's literally like a whole page like here of inspirational works, and then inspirational. That one is other works. So it's like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Danmachi, Darling in the Franxx,
Food Dungeon.
Dungeon Food, which I wonder if that's
Dungeon Meshi.
Yeah, is that
That's
Dungeon
just
Meshi?
in Dungeon.
Yeah.
Dungeon Food might be a different thing.
Yeah.
There might be two different mangas and slash or manhwas or whatever about
Yeah.
people going into a dungeon and then eating food.
Now, Robert, LCC.
That's me. You're probably wondering how I got here.
We all know how
You got here by a plane, actually. I don't need to wonder.
Did you guys find anything else notable by chance?
So, I was recommended a game by Jay Gray, the line manager of Cyberpunk Red. It is called Ryutama. I do not know anything about this game.
Wait, Jay Gray, or I thought Jay.
Jay Gray is the one who recommended
Oh.
Jay Gray was
yeah.
the one who recommended me this game. It's called Ryutama. I literally know nothing about it besides that it is made by a Japanese group of tabletop RPG enthusiasts, and that it is cozy as fuck.
Yes. He let me look inside of it, and to explain the premise, the players have classes, and the game master actually has his own race of a dragon. Or something akin to that. It looks really comfy.
Yeah, it looks really cute, honestly. I would want to try it 100%.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna try this out with my girlfriend, and see how that goes. I also picked up a copy of something else that Diamond donated to me. I appreciate it immensely. The Fallout 2D20 Modiphius system. This is looks really sick. I picked up the Quick Start, and the Quick Start has some weird stuff in it, like that it doesn't have a stat block for Feral Ghoul, even though you can roll a Feral Ghoul encounter, which is weird. But this character building system and the perks seem really cool. The modularity is awesome, and the mechanics around stuff like scavenging and shit is really robust.
That follows pretty close. For anybody who might be interested in Modiphius' Fallout 2D20, it follows pretty much close to Fallout 4 mainly. However, there is stuff from a lot of different Fallout games. Now, if you're interested in expanding that out, there's also the Wanderers and Settlers guides that would allow you to play as things such as an Assaultron or a what?
A Nightkin.
LCC,
Yeah.
could you pass me the figures that are on the nightstand right there?
Oh,
Yeah, because Alex just mentioned these.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Here's the stamps.
Yeah, just give them to me. So, Alex, you mentioned acrylics. My buddy, we already have them. 20
Oh, yeah.
bucks at the con. We have bases, we have the acrylics for the CEMK.
Yep.
I did get me a set of those. So, yeah.
And if you're able to get your hands on those, you might be able to find a little old treasure chest that is an old character built into the acrylic.
Yeah, because I think there's one.
I see 7 right there.
Well,
Yeah, there's a couple in here
Well,
though.
non-edge runner characters.
Yeah.
That Arasaka employee.
Oh yeah, Nymph.
Yeah, Nymph is on here.
Nymph
And
and
Red
Red
Eye.
Eye
Infant Red
Yeah.
Eye.
and Cavalry.
Is Cavalry on there too? Oh yeah, Cavalry is on
So
there
there's a whole
too.
bunch of characters I don't know.
Sooty Cavalry Navarro.
Yeah. So yeah, we got acrylics. They do exist.
I don't know.
I don't know if they're selling them anywhere that isn't the con. We'll have to see because we definitely had a box of them at the Artal booth that we had a decent number. So they're Monster Fight Club, I believe. So you might want to just check their site. They very well may have them though.
And also, Monster, much like how I've been working with Artal, I am more than happy to start digging in over there with you guys as well.
Yeah. So it's very, very good. Any other loot that people want to share?
We all got our Sorting Games t-shirts with fucking graphs on them. Fuck
So
yeah.
got the Zarafa giraffe, and then there's also a Witcher one that has dandelion on it. And then next year, hopefully, they will have the Shadow Scar Sweep shirts.
Wonder if he'll be the Tory Gate.
It might
With
be
the
the
blue
28. It might be
moon.
the image that's on the front of the box, but
Yeah.
zoomed in so that you can see everyone's faces.
I would love that Torygate image that they teased Blue Moon with
Yeah,
way
the
back
original-
a year ago. That was a year ago.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because Project Blue Moon got announced at GenCon.
Yeah, it did. Well, yeah, and it wasn't even, we didn't even know it as Shadow Scar until December last year.
Yep.
So crazy how that works. Anyway, any other loot that people want to share?
I got The Witcher.
He did get The Witcher.
Yeah, that actually sold out
I was
at
bullied into
GenCon.
getting The Witcher.
Yeah.
So, I think
Talk to this man.
Yeah.
over.
Chat wants to know about the products that got announced.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that shit. So I don't know, by the way, guys, if you're watching this recorded, I don't know how this is gonna get divvied up because unlike a normal Wireheads episode, this one's very freeform and it's basically what we've learned and we're just kind of spewing it out as it comes out of our mouths. So we didn't have as full a content plan for this one because we didn't know what we'd learn. So
Let's see, we've hit the 35-minute mark, so maybe
Yeah.
we talk about one of the games that we went to, and then one of the seminars we went to, and then second half we talk about the other two important seminars.
I mean, did we have? I thought we only had technically 3 news-based seminars. So we had
Yeah.
the cozy chat, but that was kind of its own thing.
Well, I was thinking here we either talk about Shadow Scar, Fossilized Violence, Divide by Infinity, or Cyberpunk.
Gotcha.
Like,
'Cause,
which one do you think we should kick off with?
I actually went to a non-Artal seminar if people want to hear about Avatar Legends.
how about
Oh, actually, I
Uncle
was.
Iroh.
Yeah, the Uncle Ira's Adventure Guide.
I heard about that because I was
That's
talking
fun.
to one of the folks over at Magpie.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, because I was like, well, we could recap our weekend, but I mean, Jesus Christ, there was
It was all a blur.
it's not only is it a blur, there's a lot of sameness, just because everyone in the room right now, everyone you're seeing on camera, all of us helped out immensely with Artel's game room, and tonight, this afternoon, I should say, after my shift in the game room was done, I just volunteered, and Diamond was there too. Literally ran over to Artel's merch booth and just started selling.
With Babe.
Yeah, we literally started just selling stuff. So we've been busy as fuck all weekend.
Speaking of being
Yeah. Okay.
Holly, if you're listening.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh, Holly,
Jesus
you're such a
Christ.
sweetheart. But apparently, Emmerron and I seem to be working together so well that apparently they thought we were married.
Yeah, that was so. Yeah.
Emily, I'm so sorry. Valkyrie's into you.
You gotta worry more about Valkyrie. Emily almost never watches these things, and if she's in chat now, she's gonna be like, "What do you mean? I'm watching this one."
I'm pretty sure right now Valkyrie is in VR having the time of her fucking life.
Yeah, no, it's no. It was funny as fuck because this is not the first time I've been accused of being married to someone that isn't my wife for totally innocuous reasons. So it's really fucking funny. But yeah, so that happened in the Artel booth.
We were just really good roommates.
Yeah.
This time, quite literally, unlike all of the other times in which that has ever been said.
Yeah, we have been con roommates for real.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
They were roommates the whole time.
Well,
So
if you guys wanted to start on topics, we could really start with fossilized violence because you and I actually went to that seminar.
Yes.
yeah. We can start there because I can also just divvy the recording in post too, so we can just kind of record straight through.
All right then. So Robert and I ended up going out to James Hutt's seminar talking about the upcoming new line for our Talsorian games of 5 by Infinity, which, as James Hutt is putting it, 5 by Infinity is going to be simply games that are in one book without like much further expansion. It is simple games. Now, Fossilized Violence, as is put here already, it is a very graphic dinosaur hunting game where you are playing as cavemen dealing with mutated dinosaurs. For some reason, the herbivores are eating people. There's a crystallized T-Rex with a nasty like kill beam.
So to summarize all of this, you are humans against really freaking weird dinosaurs, and we're all kind of screwed unless you learn how to fight them, which is the entire point of the system. Recommended age is no younger than 13 years old because this thing gets gross.
Nyla jump scare.
Oh yeah.
It's Nyla. Thank you for the sub, Nyla. I'm so glad you could join us all weekend.
So to cover some of the other things that Diamond touched on during that, yes, the dinosaurs in this setting are evolving in very strange ways. They're getting fire breath, wings, acid. The said T-Rex with a death ray is literally made out of crystal, and if you, as James said himself, if you get hit by the death ray, you deserve it because it takes several turns.
Yeah, the death beam is like very slow.
Yes.
Very, very slow.
But
Right.
you as the cavemen are one collective entity where you have to kind of work together in general to survive against dinosaurs because they're bigger than you, they're meaner than you, they roll bigger dice than you, quite literally.
Yeah, the bigger the dino, the bigger the dice, and the biggest they can roll is a d20, which is,
And-
as James Hutt would say, one of the worst dice.
One of the things we talked about originally with James Hutt,
Yeah.
though, is literally your miniatures are those plastic dinosaurs that you fucking played with as a kid, and also your terrain just grab shit. And it sounds like the GM gets 1 minute per player to build a build terrain.
Environment, yeah.
Also, this is a role-playing game, as in roll dice, see what happens.
Yeah, ROLL, not ROLE. Yep.
There are, of course, it's very much all martial combat. The way you move is either a hand or a finger.
Yeah, or multiple hands. Some dinos move up to two
Oh.
hands. Yep.
So,
Like this.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you'd have to like move it to your fingertip, and then you'd lay out your hand again, and you'd move it again.
Yes.
Yeah.
The caveat with that movement system is if everyone at the table has different size hands, which they most likely will, you find the most average hand size, which should be your game
Oh
minutes.
no! They say you can use anyone's hand at the table if it gives you a material advantage, which usually just means you'll use the guy with the largest hands.
So yes, get yourself a big guy, like 7 foot tall.
Like when we tested this, Erica was one of my play testers for it, and she literally put her hand next to mine, and her fingers came up to like here on mine, and so she's like, "Yeah, we're using your hands for measurement." I'm like, "Fair." So yeah.
The categorical R.
Yeah. For VTTs, James has said you can use his hand size, and it is printed in the rules, which is
Yep.
funny as fuck.
Also, in Cyberpunk Red, we have 24 critical injuries. Coming up in Fossilized Violence, we have 200 critical injuries, and each dinosaur has its own special table.
Yeah. The quick caveat to that, the apostrophe at the end of that, or the what is it? The star, right? That little legal saying like
The asterisk.
the asterisk. Thank you. Most of those critical injuries are dinos dealing them to you.
Yep.
But the players have 3 separate critical injury tables they can deal in sharp weapons. So it's piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning damage. And they have an additional table of super critical injuries that they can deal on top of the regular criticals. Most of them act as modifiers, all that sort of shit. So yeah, that is what Fossilized Violence kind of looks like on a really, really high level.
Those are the basic rundowns of the game concept.
Hmm.
There are some deeper things that Diamond took very, very careful notes on.
Yep.
I was more mental noting and
yeah.
laughing at dinosaur jokes.
And there's one thing Chaos mentioned in chat right now. It sounds like Toy Box play with dinos. That's the point. That isn't an accident. That is actually the point. James has all along said that the concept behind fossilized violence, and you can even look near the end of our earlier interview with him where we were talking a lot of cyberpunk. We finally got to talk a little fossilized violence toward the end of our interview with him. The core concept of it is to emulate, to a certain extent, playing with your dino toys, like clashing them against each other on your bedroom floor as a kid, but then adding some like rules and, like he would say, adding violence. Like it's some kind of fucked up concoction.
Speaking of violence, we also have some special stuff coming up. One of the things being called violence points. Now, violence points, you can gain some special advantages from doing stuff, especially if the GM requests forced role play, which is what James called it, but he's got to look for something better where, you know, you could have your player, give your players a prompt, and then they, as caveman, must speak in caveman about thing.
Yeah. Mark says hello, by the way, Robert. I don't know if you were saying that back to him in caveman there.
Mark of Corn, hello.
I really hope that there is a caveman dialect guide on how all the four different, if all four different tribes talk differently. Then
Actually, I'm about to get to that.
let's fucking go.
All right,
So,
let's go.
I just
of
hope
course,
that they can't say anything besides
there are-
syllable words.
There's going to be 4 civilizations that which James refers to them as civilizations because these are developing, and this is the big thing that I personally like. We've got the Heartlanders, which are very much the very wild and free roamers of the jungle across the island. You have the Volcano Men, which they are they're a large family that live next to the volcano, who are very much more, we do it for family, not because something else tells us to do so. You have the Ice Folk.
The Thixie.
The Thixie,
Yeah.
which very much it's their calling to go out to go do it.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Ocean Kings represent!
Ocean Kings! Any of you have watched the interview or
which is
listened to
very democracy.
anyone talking to me about the game on my channel, we are all very Ocean Kings filled. We love Ocean Kings.
I'm actually thinking of going Heartlander because Heartlander not so much as thought oriented, but very much more.
I don't think any of the cavemen are thought oriented, honestly. The Ocean Kings try their best.
The Thixie are pretty
Well,
intelligent.
the Ocean Kings are also fairly intelligent enough to run a democracy.
Well, no, see, the Ocean Kings make rules. They don't know why the rules are important, but they know that they need rules. That's all they know. So they're mid on that.
They're setting their own boundaries.
Yeah, they're kind of mid on that.
They're pretty much just guessing as to how
And
society
the
works.
Volcano Men, you know, they have a lot of artisans in their village.
Yeah.
However, your characters, to understand how time works in this, each session is not consecutive days. There can be weeks between different hunts that happen, months, until you have to go out for another hunt. And according to James, you reach old age and your caveman, if they can retires after 7 sessions and becomes an NPC and helps grow your civilization and your village.
Yeah.
Also on top of that, there are missions with each civilization that your little hunting party can go out to go do to discover things to develop your technology.
Yep.
And if your character, let's say Ragnar is going out there, and Ragnar discovers the miracle of, I don't know, for say, the wheel.
The wheel, yeah.
Now that Ragnar's discovered the wheel, if Ragnar dies, the wheel does not die with Ragnar. The wheel continues to turn.
Yeah. So it's very interesting because there's some like civilization development stuff that factors into. So like character death is in a lot of ways mechanical. It is a like, yes, you don't want to die if you can help it, but like at the same time, if you live, or even if you die, you get to keep all the stuff that you did.
Think like a roguelike.
Right, and if you do live all the way through a 7-session kind of progression there, as James has kind of said it, becoming that NPC, becoming Elder, I believe he's called it before.
Yep.
Is like a massive boon to the civilization that you call home. So it's very cool.
Yeah, it's very much akin to what would actually happen with cavemen, where they would have to figure out by trial and error, or as James likes to say it, someone figured out how to put a rope onto a bucket.
Yeah. Yep.
Also,
That's a trial and error.
all 4 civilizations do work with one another.
Yes.
This is not us versus them. They all are working together to
It is us
deal
versus
with
them. It was us versus the dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty much the closest we got.
Yeah. Generally, the tribes cooperate. The dinosaurs, we don't negotiate with the dinosaurs.
Do not negotiate with terrorists.
There
The
is-
dinosaurs are the terrorists in this case.
There is a small chance of having to do caveman on caveman violence, but that's because they ungood when they should have bungood, and they made the wrong decision.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not like perfect tranquility, but it's pretty reasonable.
And finally, James talked a little bit about the 5x Infinity line more because he was very excited about fossilized violence, which that is totally okay. Like James, I was happy to just listen about fucking dinosaur game because I am excited for dinosaur game.
Dinosaur game is gonna be fun.
Anyway, so 5x Infinity has 3 major objectives that the line is going to do. One of them is publishing old Talsorian games titles.
Oh.
So I wonder if teenagers from outer space will make a return through 5x Infinity.
T-Foss, Mechton is another
Possibly.
potential contender because I know
Probably.
last year at GenCon we heard Mike talking about the return of Mechton.
Ton Zero Sweep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other. I wonder if
Definitely not Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Definitely not that one.
Also,
definitely not Votoms.
Yeah.
If anyone even knows what Votoms is besides me.
we they're also looking at experimental games where like it's very much experimental games via one shots.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's like more discovery of like new mechanics
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
And also third, but also important, working with indies to help them publish their games.
Yeah. Like I know when James has kind of talked to us about it a little bit at last year's convention when he was officially like recognized as the line manager for 5x Infinity. He had mentioned that their main focus was going to be on like smaller titles that didn't necessarily require a full line of games like Shadow Scars, Cyberpunk, or The Witcher, but need all those supplements, but could be good as a sort of like one-time thing where like you make a core rule book that has everything you really need to run the core of the game, and sure there might be some added stuff on top of that like you homebrew or that players or communities out there put together and add on top. But that the bulk of the content for those games is literally going to be in a single release, and like that was kind of their like goal for publishing. The old RTAL thing is news to me because I unfortunately could not attend the seminar that they went to because I was running the game room. And this was like an 11 a.m. seminar, so that was not happening.
Yeah, So
They also, I believe, said that any indie that rolls up and pitches them a game and all that, they get to keep the intellectual property.
Yes.
As well as, in that case, in theory, the person in question could continue to release content for it whenever they want by just releasing free PDFs of like bonus content, or publishing stuff themselves on websites and stuff like that and selling it like that.
Yeah.
Without having to go through RTAL even afterwards. It's not they're stuck with them if they don't want to continue working with them.
Yeah, the big goal with 5 by Infinity is to release cool things for people to try and to play, and they are games that are easy to pick up, put down, and let's say you have a little too much fun at a college party or something like that, and people are like, I want to hit something. Well, hit dinosaurs. It's really easy to roll dice and say you smack a dinosaur in the face instead of your buddy.
Yeah.
So it's very welcoming to anyone else who wants to play this game, and also it's, in my perspective, it's great to introduce to a younger audience because it's simpler to understand.
Yes.
You do this and this happens. And James told Diamond and I, and everyone else that was there, homebrew the crap out of this game.
Oh, yeah.
Like, make up your own dinosaurs, make up your own things, because they're all templates.
Yeah. No, it's going to be really interesting, and I think that when people get their hands on the game, because I know as people who got to run for RTAL this weekend, we did get an advanced kind of beta version that we will not talk in detail about because it is still very much in development. However, reading through it, I'm very excited for the rest of you to kind of get to see this very hands-on when it comes out. Boss Size Violence is going to be a lot of fun. A lot of players coming into our room said something that I really agree with, where it's a very beer and pretzels kind of RPG. It is not something that is like heavy narrative, heavy story commitment, heavy like you have to constantly be tracking like who is who and what is what. It's like as long as your GM, if you're meeting semi-regularly to like play through a coupled scenario with friends, your GM just needs to keep like a notebook or something mentioning like who became an elder and what you guys accomplished, like what technologies have unlocked.
Charlie's playing Grognak, Diamond is playing some other cave.
Oh no, I'm playing Emmerron. Are you kidding me?
Did you happen to see who did the artwork of the T-Rex on the art?
Oh my god.
Yeah, Robert's a massive fan of the particular property that he does art for. So, Robert, please share with us.
For you Godzilla fans, they have the original. The original artist of Godzilla came back to do King Trample. I remember his first name.
King the Trampler, I believe.
King the Trampler, yes.
Yeah.
I know his first name is Ito. I was in the moment and I forgot his last name.
Yeah.
But yes, it is the original artist that drew Godzilla.
Bob Eggleton.
Oh, Bob Eggleton. Yeah.
Well, no, James made specific mention for doing King the Trampler was...
Well, it says front King the Trampler by Bob Eggleton.
Oh, because I heard him in a different conversation.
Yeah, so
Bob
this is
wonder
the image
if-
we're talking about.
I wonder if that's going to be some other artwork.
It could be, yeah, because we have they've got a whole so we've got a map of the continent of Pangeon here as well.
Yes.
Which is by Kyle Macro Latino, which is beautiful art, by the way. I have loved that map of Pangeon because we have had it for a while in our playtests, and every time I look at it, I'm like, that's really pretty. So yeah, I am extremely excited for us to be able to cover the game a little bit more when it does come out and talk about all the things that we have very early versions of right now. But because of the nature of this, we can't talk about it.
Question. But if we cover fossilized violence, wires don't exist in the time of cavemen. What do we call that episode?
We call it rope heads.
No. How about fiberheads?
Fiberheads.
Fiberheads.
Or you have me smash the keyboard enough times to make up a title.
Hemp heads.
Where it's just...
we'll have to workshop to avoid problematic. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like you could play with your kids. Yeah, Chaos. I think you'd be able to quite easily, honestly, because none of it's really graphic, and you could definitely easily tone it down. Like Cody was saying for Shadow Scar, it's PG-13, and I think that really earns its rating of PG-13 quite well. I think that most of the issues with fossilized violence are probably going to come in with like the way critical injuries talk about things, like you're losing an arm or something like that. Like obviously if you've got young kids that could be pretty upsetting, but I think there are ways to like work around that and have it be fun to just play with your kids for sure.
I suppose though something else I appreciate with this, because I had some really young kids come in looking at the Cyberpunk
Edge Runner
starter kit, and it's just I couldn't have it in my heart to look at these folks and be like, hey, this would be a great. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. So the fact that we have something that's a little bit more teen oriented, like Shadow Scar and fossilized violence.
Yeah,
this is a great way for them to get into TTRPG.
Yeah,
and
like I'd say if your kid is like I don't know, like 10 to 12 depending, because like I know like when I was 10, something like Shadow Scar wouldn't have been incredibly like outside.
It's inspired by shonen anime, which is made for teenagers.
Right, so, like that's what I'm saying. So like if your kid's old enough to watch like Naruto or Dragon Ball Z or whatever,
Jujutsu Kaisen or anything that's like popular now with the zoomies.
Yeah, like if any of those are things that you're letting your kids watch, Shadow Scar is not going to be bad. But I think younger than that, it's harder. It's probably more of a challenge to rework the game for those younger age groups, just because you're literally an assassin organization.
Yeah.
Speaking of Shadow Scar, do we want to pick that up on the second half of the episode?
We will talk about more there. But just to wrap fossilized violence really quick, I do think that like if you want to play that with kids, basically I think all you really have to do is start like trying to remove the critical injury system from the game, or like find a way to account for how some of that can get kind of graphic. And if you find a way to do that for your kids, it's probably not going to be anywhere near that bad.
Yeah,
like you can play that easily.
Yeah,
you make the judgment call if this is something appropriate for your kids.
Yeah.
A couple came in while I was walking around helping out, and the husband wanted to try out fossilized violence, and I just said straight up to both of them that they had a 5-year-old with them, and I was like, maybe don't do this right now while she's here, because some of the stuff in the game is a little bit graphic when it comes to like violence, so that you could ask the GM to tune down the descriptions, but if you want to be safe, just once she's in bed or whatever, if it's like 8 or 9 or whatever, you can come back and then check to see if the fossilized violence demo is open again, and then you can try it out. So,
like the best initial description I can do for that is like, oh, you hit the dinosaur head with a boulder, he makes a Looney Tune face and starts seeing stars, and he falls over kind of dizzy. Like, whoop-de-doo. That's
cartoon violence is much. It's not too hard to like imagine how you'd cartoon violence it. So, but yeah, that's I think it for fossilized violence. I think what we'll do now is we'll cut here and pick up in a moment for those of you watching the recording on YouTube to handle the second half of the episode. I don't know. We're on an odd week, so I guess technically this first half was my part, but I know. It's going to be a fucky week. So we'll see you probably over on Diamond's channel for this second part of the episode.